Hello, guys. Hello, my little Sarah. Hello, Halloween baby. Hi, Peachy, Matt, Gray, Sarah, Deborah, Peace. Hi. Hi. Remember last week or a couple weeks ago I said we should have pajama night? I'm in my pajamas that I got from not Wish. Timu. Hold on. There's the and then here's the leg. There you go. I'm in my pajamas. I was gonna put on my foot stuff. I was gonna put on my Fort Worth shirt that I got last year, but I didn't. I said I'm staying in my pajamas. Hey, warrior grandma. How is everybody on this Saturday? It is cold here. It was hot yesterday. It is cold now. Hey, Vicky. Thank you. There's $17 from Timu. And they are true to size. Hey, Salty. Because if you are like, I don't know if any of y'all have ever ordered from like Shein or whatever, they run small. Hey, Figment. Hey, Quincy. Quincy. Hey, Quincy. I'm sorry. Quincy. These are actual true to size. Hey, and I love them. Hey, Ocean. Tight. I love them. So that's what I'm wearing. I didn't even change. That's all we're doing. We're just gonna have a pajama party. I'm trying to watch all of the drama on the streets. BJ! I'm trying to watch the drama. I got drama from the Coven side. I'm just going to call them Coven right now. I got drama from Guest Mob side. Drama from the drama. I'm exhausted. I love you, Sarah. I love you, Aunt Kathy. Hold on, this is going to blow up. Oh, no. Hold on. Put it in the freezer. Now, I will say this real quick. I did do this last year. I did this story last year. And honestly, if I'm lucky enough to be here next year, I'll probably do it again around this time. Hey, Holly Dolly. Yeah. I will probably do it again because it's this time of year. And what I did not realize was last Wednesday, the 15th, was Mary Rachel Trelica's birthday. Hey, Earth, I love you. Peggy, I love you. The 15th was her birthday. And I wrote somewhere how old she would be. She was 17 when she went missing. It's been 49 years. What is that? That's a lot. I can't do it. I don't. Plus, this happened on December 23rd, 1974. So it's Christmas Eve, but I don't ever want to do it on like the day that it happened because that's just too much. That is too much. But this is another example of these girls being lost in time. Basically, there's a picture, and I'm going to get that. That is nope, I did not mean to push that button. There are these three photographs that kind of represent these girls. Hey, Purple Passion. Let me come back over here. These faces, these smiles are kind of frozen in time. And they had families, and they had friends, and they had a city and that was looking for them. And these are just the three photographs that are just frozen in time. Forever. I hope not forever. There's been a lot of here lately, a lot of Jane Does that are getting ID'd. I mean, like a rash of them are getting ID'd. Hey, Half Pint, in the last just like 6 months. So, these cases are building these DNA warehouses, I guess. Exactly, Quinny. I've said this before. What we went through is harder than when they say God doesn't give you more than you can handle. That's a lie. He does. He absolutely does. Not knowing to me would be, I don't think not knowing for an hour would kill me, but for 49 years to die not knowing, hopefully they were reunited. I believe they were. If these girls are dead. Hey, Midnight Baker, how are you? So, yeah, if I'm lucky enough to be here next year, I'll probably do this again. Every year, there's only one parent left. These girls had, the only parent that's still alive is Rachel Trelica's mother. Rachel's all the way on the left. Her mother's the only parent left. Her brother Rusty is pretty much the only. I don't want to be me. Hey, Renee Marie. Her brother Rusty was 11 years old when she went missing. And when he got big enough, he has kind of taken this case. It is now his whole life. And we're no closer than we were the day these girls parked their car at the Sears upper parking lot on December 23rd, 1974. That's where it ends. So, little Julie on the right, now she has an older brother and an older sister. If you if you're on Facebook, there's a Facebook page dedicated to these. Hey, Sizzle, hey, Sizzles. There is a Facebook page, hey, Tiny T, that, oh shit, that is, hold on, that is dedicated to them. Rusty is the administrator. Hold on, let me get my little thing. And it's pretty well maintained. And her brother Terry, who is involved with another one of the girls, Renee, in the middle. They were dating, and he had just given her a promise ring the morning that they went missing. He still frequents that page. But if you go and you become a member of that page, or you follow, I can't remember if you have to be a member, and you see everything that's been done in the last 49 years, it'll be, December 23rd. It's just so sad. But anyway, I don't mean to, hold on. Hold on. Spilled drink everywhere. Oh my God. I knew when I put it in the damn freezer that I was going to forget it, and I did. And now my tissues are gone that are usually down here. All right, use my stuff. I was in junior high, but no, yeah, well, there are people like you go. I've gone to Reddit. You go to the Charlie Project. You go missing and exploited children. Name us. So many different places that you can go. And there are people that'll say that are from Fort Worth that have never heard about this. And I thought, what? But that's why I do these. They get buried under, these, 49 years. They're buried under it. And nobody talks about it anymore. People forget. And whatnot. So I'm going to wait a minute. Hey, that girl, how are you? This is Casey. It's those three faces that we're looking at. They're frozen in time. And I have other photographs of them that are like, like little Rachel on here on the left. Her hair was completely different. Renee's, Lisa Renee. We have Mary Rachel, who went by her middle name. We have Lisa Renee, who went by her middle name. And then we have little Julie. So they looked differently. They didn't look like this. I think these were mostly maybe yearbook photos or something. I'm glad you love them, Vet Girl. I'm glad. I love doing them. What I thought I was going to do was get all these notes that I've had for a year, right? And I was going to put them into some kind of, oh, wait a minute. Y'all can't see me. Oh, no, you can't. Hold on. There we go. I'll be in the corner here. I have all these notes from last year. And I thought, well, here's what I'm going to do because I'm so smart and brilliant, right? I'm going to save myself the work. And I'm just going to get my notes and I'm just going to streamline them. No. I tried, but that didn't happen. So I said, fuck it. We're just going to wing it. That's what we do over here. We wing it. So there are the girls. And let's see. I'm going to wait till 9:15. I really do, Vet Girl. I do a lot of research. And I've said this before. The last year when I did these, I did the Springfield 3, went directly into the Fort Worth Trio. And it was a lightheaded effect. It had an effect on me. Because I know there's no answers here. I'm not going to solve it. We're not going to solve it. But it needs to be said. It needs to be brought up. It needs to be talked about. And just all that missing and all that. I mean, hey, Susan, yay! I think I have a lot of empathy. Believe it or not, I have a lot of empathy. And so some people will say that's not true, but it is. And let me bring this up on my phone so I'll make sure if I'm over, I can't see y'all when I'm over there. Yo. Hold on. All the way down. Excuse me. I'm happy with this picture. It's big. Pick a case and go deep. It's not. Well, hey, listen. Hey, Devious, how are you? The go deep part, man. I think I might take a break next week, but then again, I probably won't. I said, hey, Ghost, what are you doing? Ghost had a funny show today. He always has good stuff. I just want a sip of this beverage before I start. It's iced tea. I've got 37 beverages down here. So let's talk about the Fort Worth Trio. You see there, we've got Rachel. We got Mary Rachel Trilica. She was 17. We have Lisa Renee Wilson, 14. And we have little Julie Mosley, who was 9. How did we get there? Okay, we'll do this. So on the morning of the 23rd, Renee's parents worked. And when they did, she would go over to her grandmother's house. Her grandmother lived across the street from Julianne, her brother, her 11-year-old sister, and her mother. Her mother and father were divorced. So Terry and Renee started dating. And the morning of the 23rd, he went over early and got her grandmother to wake her up. And he gave her a promise ring. Can you even? I'm going to show you the good. All right, here's Renee. Again, this is the photo that everybody knows. This was really actually what she looked like. She had her hair cut. I didn't even know that would make a big difference in things. I mean, and here's Renee again. And there's Renee again. So you see that one in the center we had, they're not a lot. They're not very similar. And here is the little promise ring that he gave her that morning. Here's another picture of little Julie, 9 years old. I mean, here's the one we all know. So Rachel is married. She's 17 and she's married to a guy named Tommy Trlica. Tommy's parents had died in 1974. Hey, Mama Cannoli, I cannot find out if I don't think they died together, but they died in that year. So Tommy inherited the house, all their money, their cars, and he was 23. He was a divorced father at 23. And so they found out that they were going to be able to get his little 2.5-year-old son on Christmas Eve. So they had some shopping to do. So Rachel calls her mother. Now, let me say this. Rachel's family, the Arnolds, Trlica is her maiden name. Her family's name is Arnold. The Arnolds and the Wilsons were family friends. They lived not far from each other. They went on vacations together, camping, So Renee was Rachel's best friend, even though there's a, kind of a big difference there in age, but that was her best friend. Now, living in Tommy's house with he and Rachel is Rachel's older sister, Deborah, who's 19. Tommy and Rachel were engaged. Trainers! How you doing, baby? Tommy and Deborah were engaged, but they broke up. And then somehow Rachel and Tommy got together and got married. She'd been married about 6 months when this happened. So she asks her sister, you want to go shop? No, I can't. I want to sleep. She calls her mother. Her father has stage 4 cancer, and he had not had a good day. So the mother said, I can't, there's no way I got to take care of your dad. So Rachel calls Renee at her grandmother's house and says, do you want to go? Renee says, I'll go, but me and Tommy are going to a Christmas party tonight, and I want to be home by 4. She drove it home by 4. And Rachel's like, no problem. So Rachel drives over. Renee had asked Terry's 11-year-old sister, Terry, Julie, and Janet. All right, that's the two that live. That's the ones that live across the street. Renee asked the 11-year-old to go. She didn't want to go. They asked Terry to go. He didn't want to go. He had to go visit a friend. And Julie was just begging to go. So Rachel and Renee said, you go ask your mother, only if your mom says you can. Thinking there's no way this mom's going to let her kid go. And so Julie gets on the phone and she begs her mom. And her mom says, no, you don't have any money. No. And she finally relents and lets little Rachel go to the mall with the two girls because she knew Renee and trusted her. So they stop off at a Army-Navy surplus store where Renee has had on. Like a cool way. Stop it. Thank you, Harry Styles. Renee had to get a pair of jeans out of layaway at the Army-Navy. And she did. So we know they made it to Army-Navy. Army-Navy was on the way to Seminary South Mall. Let me find it for you. Let me pull it. All right. So here we go. Now, Seminary South Mall wasn't really a mall. It was more of a plaza. And if you are my age, I'm 55. There's a difference between a mall and a plaza. Plaza, there's a lot outside. There's a lot you get from store to store from outside, not inside. So this was more of a plaza instead of a mall. And I had pictures of it, but I don't know what I did with them. I have no idea what I did with them. Just a mall, like none of the rest. So they parked their car in the upper parking lot, which is, let me turn around. Let me get over here. over here, right over here. That's the upper lot of Sears. They are seen in the mall. They are seen because Renee's got a very distinct shirt on. And you're going to say, oh, wait a minute, I know that lady. She has on this Avon shirt that says Sweet Honesty. And people remember the shirt. Now, if I pull up the Charlie Project or Wikipedia, you see, this is very bright. I don't know if they're the same shirt. I don't know, but they're very bright. But for Renee, it says it's a pale green sweatshirt. I don't know. But they remember seeing them. One guy said that he ran into Rachel at a record store and that she, talked to him for a minute and it looked like there was a man with them or a guy. Let's say guy. It looked like there was a guy with them. She kept looking at it, right? That didn't come out till years later, though. Can I just add that? And that, everyone, is the end of it. Good night. That's the end. They were seen in the mall by about 3 people that remember it, but they remember that shirt, right? And they were never seen again. Ever. So 4 o'clock comes and goes. Julie's mother said you have to be home by 6. 6 comes and goes. Well, then the families are starting like, So Tommy, the husband, works at Rachel's father's shop. His name was Cotton Arnold. And he had a transmission stop. And I think they said the slogan was, if your car's running rotten, bring it to Cotton. Only thing is, Cotton had stage 4 cancer and the business was going up in smoke. So Tommy takes some of his inheritance. That's the one that talked to him at the record store. Yeah, that's the one that talked to him at the record store. Just know a guy. I can't even remember. I don't even know that his name's ever been put out there. There was I will get to there. So anyway, Tommy gave Cotton $20,000, which in 1974 was a lot of money, to learn get the business out of the shitter, learn the business, and run the business in the event, that when Cotton passed. So Tommy was at the shop, and I want to say he called the mother and said, have you seen Rachel? And she said, no. And he said, okay, well, I'm going over to my bowling league meeting. Just let me, tell her to call me when she gets in. The girls still don't show up. So the fathers decide they're going to go over to the mall. They're going to retrace the steps and they're going to go to the mall. And they are going to, hold on, let me find that. I switched up my photographs. They were going to go to the mall and they're going to trace trace their route, make sure they hadn't broken down. But, they left after 12. So by 6 o'clock, I didn't tell y'all that. They left after 12. Here is Cotton Arnold right here. This is Tommy. And this is Richard Wilson, Renee's dad, sorry. So they go over there and they find the car. And here's the car. And it's parked fine. And there's nothing, there's nothing going on. There is if you research this case, they will tell you that the car was full of the girls' packages, that the girls absolutely had returned to the car at least one time. Hey, Carrie Love. That is not true. That is the only photo. That's the only thing that was in the car. That is a wrapped gift that Renee, this was in Texas, Fort Worth, Texas. Renee wrapped that, it was a toy car, and Renee had wrapped it up and was giving it to Rachel to take to the little boy. There weren't even the jeans that Renee bought or got out of layaway from the Army Navy weren't in the car. So the thought was she probably took them into the mall so she could try them on, put them on, and then match, different things to it. I don't know. But no, they did not. There was nothing in the back of the car. There was nothing in the trunk. No, that's, and I don't know why that's left out there like it's true. It's not true. That's the only thing that was in the car. So the dads waited all night with their guns for them to come back. Nobody came back. They called the police. The police said, they're just runaways. They've run away. They'll be back. And what 9-year-old runs away 2 days before Christmas? No. Even a 14-year-old. Who runs away 2 days before Christmas? 17-year-old, your first Christmas with your husband. But the police kept that. They kept that thought that those girls ran away. They never investigated this. They didn't even dust the fucking car. That car was delivered back to Tommy the next day, Christmas Eve. Ne'er a one bit of fingerprint dust on it. They didn't even do anything to it. So we got a problem, and the cops ain't helping. So Rachel's mother, Fran, and her brother Rusty go to every store in the mall, right? They have them paged at every store in the mall. Those girls weren't there. The 24th comes, Christmas Eve. The police are down at the Arnolds, and the Wilsons are there. And in comes Tommy and Deborah. And Tommy says, I got a letter from Rachel. And he hands it to the cops. And they pass this letter around. Everybody, even Rusty, the 11-year-old's got his hands on it. And I'm going to show you the letter. This letter, this damn letter, not that one. All right, there's the mall again. Let me see if I've got a better, okay, here we go. Let me show real quick. I'm sorry. Her car is it was parked right here, up here in the upper lot, right? This is the lower lot. This is the old Sears. I'll talk about this little circle over here in a little bit. This is where her car was found way back when. So Tommy and Deborah walk in with the letter. Here is the front of it. Has Rachel up here. Thomas A. Trelica. And I almost showed the house. But I thought maybe I shouldn't. It's a nice house that they lived in, that they inherited. It's a very nice house. To this day, it's nice. So can you imagine a 23-year-old, a 17-year-old, a 19-year-old in that house? I mean, it was party time. But I'll tell you why they were there probably. Anyway, so here it is. So here's a problem with this right now. There's two problems with this. I'm going to show you. Thomas A. Trelica. That is not what she ever called him. No one called him Thomas A. Trelica. Nobody. So that was odd to them. And then we've got the postcode up here on the top. Oh, the postcode. This is going to haunt your days, haunt your nights. The postcode. Let me come back over here to you. The stamp was canceled out at 10 o'clock on Christmas Eve morning. Tommy says he believes that it was sealed. Hey, Tartan Tilly, he believed it was sealed, but couldn't really remember. And so you think him and Deborah are the only ones home? We get a letter. The postmark is effed up a little bit. It is either one of the two. It's 760. There is no denying the first three numbers are 760. It's the last two that can make this come from at least three different areas. Ellisville, because either the last, all right, so it's either 76083, 76088, backwards 3, or another combination of that 33. It came from either Ellisville, Throckmorton, Texas, or Weatherton. And I'm going to show you now. I'm going to show you how close. So from Fort Worth, Texas to Weatherford, Texas, 29 miles. Fort Worth, Texas to Throckmorton, 2 hours and 12 minutes. And to Ellisville would be 1 hour and 54 minutes. But let me ask you this. Hey, Bad Medicine, if you're going to run away, right, why don't you take your car? If you're going to run away, if the police are so brilliant about it, why didn't they take the car? It was a 1972 Chrysler 98. Welcome to the Screen and Room. Thank you. For a member. Thank you for 1 month. So, and Tommy brings that up. Why is she going to run away when she's got she took her car. Thank you for 5 months. I appreciate you. I sound like Speakeasy. I appreciate you. All right, so now we're going to go back up here. We're going to read the letter. Oh, this damn letter. It's going to haunt you. All right. I know I'm going to catch it, but we just had to get away. We're going to Houston. See you in about a week. The car is in the Sears upper lot. Love, Rachel. We have a problem with this too. And you might not be able to see it. And I don't think I can make it. I can't. Shit, fuck. So if you look right here on this L, it was originally an E. And it was gone over to make it an L. Why is Rachel going to misspell her own name? Probably not going to do that. Probably not. Hey, Irish gal. She spelled it R-A-C-H-E-L. This is L, and I can't make this any bigger. I hope it's bigger. If it's not bigger for y'all, I got to figure out something out to get this fixed, to get like huge. Let me see. No, that's me. That's me. And it was originally an E. Now, my thoughts when I see this is, okay, you have Renee that's got 2 E's at the end, right? Could they have, and then it's kind of slanted. As soon as their parents, and I say Rachel, and Rachel's mother knew immediately that her daughter did not write that was not her daughter's signature. That was not her daughter's handwriting. Tommy, I don't think he really knew anything either way. But like I said, everybody in the house touched it. Hey, Clover, everybody in the house touched it. The police did not take it. I don't know. They might have it now. I'm not sure they have it now. And I'm not kidding. I'm not sure they have it now. So this kind of gave the police, see, told you, they ran away, told you. And And here we go again. They get a call and about a week later, and it's a girl saying that she's Rachel's friend, and Rachel and them are coming in on a bus, a Greyhound bus from Houston. So the parents just roll, and Tommy, all of them roll over there. And the bus comes and goes, and there's no Rachel, there's no Renee, and there's no Julie. So now we'll put us out for a week, right? The mother of Renee would go to the courts every single week and beg them to reclassify this. Because at this point, the police had it in their youth division unit, and they were runaways. And every day that went by, those police were not going to come off that for whatever reason. I couldn't even tell you why. But she went down there every week. The newspapers kind of picked it up a little bit, but not a lot, because they're runaways. Runaways. So we have people coming forward. Well, you know what, Figment? I'll tell you. I mean, I was going to say at the end, but it doesn't really matter. They took that letter for DNA testing only in the last couple of years. And nobody's heard anything about it. Nobody's heard anything about it. That's what if y'all remember last week, we talked about them taking DNA from the I-70, and nobody's heard anything from it. So, don't know. I don't even know. I mean, I know that the family had the note for a long time. The police wouldn't take it. And it took, after a couple of years, the family said, this man, we're going to get our own private investigator. And they called in a man named John Swaim, with an M, Swaim. John Swaim was quite a character, but he got shit done. And he started saying, I'm getting calls left, right, and center, like to the cops. I'm getting calls left, right, and center about this. They got a tip that the girls were buried at a marshy part of Fort Valaka. He took 100 volunteer searchers and went and looked. That made the damn news. And they didn't find anything, but he took 100 people down there to look. He actually ended up getting the police to change this from runaways to homicide. This John Swaim did, because he was relentless. He was absolutely relentless in ways that the parents probably wouldn't even have imagined. Texas said that it was like recently. Yes, the billboards are up for the girls. Yes. And isn't that great? That's great. I mean, when I saw that was a change from the fucking yesterday. Right, Clover. When Renee's mother begging every week, please, please, please investigate this. My daughter wouldn't run away. And they send you home. 6 months after they disappeared, Cotton died. Cotton passed away. And I think that's probably when all the families started, saying, we've got to do something. And John Swaim was the one. He was the one. Let me pull him up. And I've got stuff. Y'all can't believe. Y'all know right now. We'll talk about the psychics that showed up after that. Because we got to talk. Every story we have, we got a damn psychic with it. Hold on, guys. So we had psychics pull up. There's one that they talked to called Mr. Joseph. And Mr. Joseph said, I wish I could get away with this. If you never talk to me again, they're dead. Oh, that was 49 years ago. Nobody's talked to him. He was actually, I hope he didn't take their money. It didn't say that he took their money. I hope the hell they didn't. Yeah, but he came up with that. Other psychics saw them here and there. Oh, I see him here. I mean, it's not even worth me even repeating. Psychics always show up. They always show up. And they're and I guess I would probably want to hear it too, something positive. But well, that girl, it's funny, said, "Oh, I'm new here." I said, "Oh, welcome. Welcome, crime." Oh, yeah, no, we're having no drama here. No drama, no drama. Hey, Southern girl, I'm sorry. If I've missed y'all, I'm sorry, Ringer. How are you, dear? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So anyway, this all the psychics. Oh, God. Let me see. I have them written down. So then let's talk about some sightings, though. Months pass. And we get a sales girl that says, you know what? An older lady, one of my customers came in, and she said on the 23rd, she saw those girls being herded into a van. And guess what? That lady was never found. She never came forward to tell the story. And then you have another guy that, and I'm going to say this because if this guy is not involved, I will slap your ass. No, I'm just kidding. They had a guy that said he saw a security truck, and the girls were in the truck with two men. Now, I'll tell y'all know trucks used to be kind of big, and I used to be kind of small, so it probably could. I love you, Rain Girl. Could fit in there, right? And they were just smiling and laughing. And all right, that was one sighting. All right, now let's see. Now we get another van. We've had trucks and we have vans. Another man tells the same story, seeing them in the van. They looked upset. He goes over to them and says, "Oh, what are you doing?" And the guy says, "This is a family matter. Stay out of it." And he says, "Okay." Okay. So we've got a van, another van, a truck, another truck, same kind of thing. Never pans out. Thank you, Halloween baby. Thank you. And I always am so awful because I don't read y'all's comments, and I should. Someone partnered the car. Well, if you remember, Sarah, they want that car. This is another thing. Those daddies were in that parking lot that night, all right, with their guns. And this guy saw security with them in that, We're going to hear from this guy again. I know. We're also going to hear about Weatherton and Throckmorton. We're going to hear those two cities again a little bit later. So then somebody comes forward and says, "Look, I saw these four girls." "Oh, I saw them." "Oh, yeah." I'm going to show you where they saw them. Let me pull this. Okay, over here where this little circle is, that used to be a gas station. And the man says, "I saw them. I saw those girls Christmas Eve morning trying to get to the Greyhound bus terminal." Another person says, "I saw these girls here. The owner of the gas station had them in his truck and smiled as he said he was taking them to the bus station. And a week later, the dude had dug a hole in his yard. And that was that." Again, that didn't pan out either. So the sightings are starting to come in, but they're old, right? I mean, they're old. I'm talking about 6 months to a year and a half to 2 years, to the 80s, all the way up to the 80s. These would come in. So we have the problem with the note. All right. The FBI has had that note 3 separate times. And the FBI has asked every time for more. Yes, they did. Nothing there. I was a year old. I can't believe 3 girls. I know, especially crime when you've got the killing fields. There was I talked about it last week or the week before that. There was a girl who was sitting in their car with her boyfriend in a bowling alley. A man comes up and I think hits him with a gun, grabs her. All she can yell to him is, go get my dad. He is knocked unconscious, the kid, the boy again, right? And they don't find her. And then I think about, I want to say 3 weeks later, maybe they found her body. That might be not true. They find her body and they take the dress into evidence. And I told y'all, that dress, and this girl died in 73, 72 or 73. And they still have the dress properly preserved. That's another big thing. And it cost over $20,000 for them to get the DNA off of the dress to go straight to the killer's door and say, we got you. And when they pulled up, he had lived a life that, to no one's knowledge, if they ever, kill again. But they went right to his door and said, excuse me. So it's all got to be preserved correctly. Somebody's got to come up with $20,000 to test a spot. Somebody's got to put it through the genealogy. Thank you, 21andMe and Ancestry, for giving you records, because they didn't in the beginning. In the beginning, those two biggies didn't do it, but they have since started giving their access to their records to the people that do this for a living. Also, through the years, can I just say, people have seen Rachel, and they say they've seen Rachel around Fort Worth, and she always around Christmas time, and she's always just kind of at a Walmart or at a gas station or something like that, and they know it's her. Is missing sister suspected? Yeah, that's horror crime. Listen, I can't imagine having a lost child. I really can't. I don't know what I would. I don't know. I wish I did know. Bravoria. Now, Bravoria, that's another town in Texas. They found bones there. They found the bones of 3 people there. And this was in 1970, I think, maybe. Only thing is, they tested the bones, and it was 2 females and a male. Now, I don't know if they've done DNA on those bones. I would like that. I wish they would recheck that. But I know I'm not wrong. They identified those people. They identified it was they were very, very young teens. And I'm pretty sure they ended up identifying those 3 sets of bones. But since that, so John Swaim worked this case. He put up, I think, a $20,000 reward. That might have been the second one. We have a problem with John Swaim, though. John Swaim ODs in 1975. He ODs. He dies. And unbeknownst to the families of these girls, he has instructed that upon his death, all of his records be burnt. And they were. And when the family went to get the records to take them to a new detective, they were gone, and they were informed that they were gone. I wonder why, too. Why do you want those records burned? All of his records, not just the girls. Every record that he had, he ordered it to be burnt upon his death. Every lead John Swaim had was now up in smoke. And People say he OD'd. People said he committed suicide. If he committed suicide, he knew full well that those records were going to be burned. And it happened. And they're back to, you are back to square one. You are everything that John Swaim accomplished, and he accomplished a lot. Don't get me wrong. He got this thing changed from runaway to homicide. He had people up. He got up to 100 people who would go do these searches. He did a lot. He did a whole lot. He had tips. He got death threats. Leave it alone. And he had all that written down, and now it's all gone. It's all gone. So, well, 17 months after this disappearance, Tommy Treleka files for divorce on the grounds of abandonment. Now, he also buys some land in Throckmorton, Texas. And on that land, on the deed, it's his name and it's Rachel's name on the deed in Throckmorton, Texas. Where have we heard that before? So he files for the divorce in 1976. He marries wife number 3, who is also 17 years old, by the way. Only thing is, when he goes and gets that marriage license, he goes to Weatherton to get it, Texas. Where have we heard of Weatherton before? He goes to Weatherton to get his marriage license for his 3rd wife in Throckmorton. Then he divorces her. And in 1978, he gets married again. This time, I don't think she was 17. And he's got a bunch of kids, and he divorces her. Wife number 5, I can report, he has been with for 40 years. He has been with her for 40 years. And now I think they say he lives in Galveston, but he bought land and moved to Throckmorton and got all of his marriage license done in Weatherton. So that means you have ties there, right? No, he is the one. Well, I'm sure he went through his inheritance pretty quickly. I might be wrong about that. I don't know how much he got when his parents died. I know he got the house, both their cars, everything they owned. So if he sells that house, it's a nice house. I knew I should have got a screenshot of it, but I thought, I don't want to, because people are living there, they probably don't want to know that. Thank you, Sizzles. Yeah, so he moves there. I'm going to show you something, though. Let's see. We're going to go back to this letter. We're going to look at Rachel. That is Rachel on her wedding day. And she's just beautiful. Here they are. There's her and Tommy. This is a photograph that Terry Mosley, her sister, her brother, I'm sorry, put up. And I accidentally put this picture in there. This is the picture that he loves the best because it shows how precocious she was and her smile. And he put that in the web on the Facebook page with a big long write up. And I wish I would have shown you this. This is him. Sorry. This is his mom and this is his sister. And look at his hair. There they are together, him and Renee. So these, like I said, all this resolution. Another big thing about the letter. All right, the letter. The paper. All right, now y'all look at this. The big deal is made that the paper, right, is too wide for the envelope. I know this is a horrible picture. I'm sorry. And it had to be folded weirdly to fit in. But if you turned, if you were to turn the envelope sideways and fold it that way, it would not have been too big. I don't know why it's been made such a big deal, but it is. Oh, it was too big for it. But I'm looking right there. If you folded it in half like that and then you turned it over, anyway. And here's some more just little, the Elliston, the different towns. Actually, I'll tell you, they ended up saying that it came from a small post office in the mall. That was another thing the police came up to. These are just, I don't even know why I did these. So, all right, let me go back to this. So somebody said before that it had to be somebody they know. That's the running thing now. That's always been the theory, is that they left with someone that at least one of them knew. Now, Rachel and Renee went to the same high school. Rachel was a junior. I think Renee was a freshman. So and they were family friends. So they probably would have known somebody, jointly. Julie, no, you're 9 years old. You're not going to know anybody. So that is pretty much what they say, is that they think they left with someone they knew. And they think that one of them was targeted. My thing with that is, okay, well, if you were targeting Rachel, because they say, they are people, that possibly her father killed her. And he had to kill Renee because Renee who he was. And then he had to kill Julie. It turns out that Rachel's father was extremely abusive physically. I don't know about any other way. Rusty and Deborah both say that he would beat those girls until they bled. And he never would beat Rusty because he was the boy. So Deborah would run away a lot. But Rachel never ran away. So if Deborah had run off, I don't think any of them would have batted an eye. So that's probably why Rachel married Tommy. He was 23. He had his own house. She had to get away from that dad. And Deborah followed suit because, So for a long time, Rusty believed that Deborah was telling the truth. I was thinking the person of authority, like a security guard, right? Like a security guard at a mall. I was too, crowd. I was too. Thank you, Twist. I appreciate you. Thank you. So I know exactly. Even Rusty said he would beat them until the blood ran down their legs. So we know why. Like I said, we know why. They started to doubt Deborah. And I will tell you that all the parents, except for her own parents, doubted Deborah's story the entire time. I told y'all before, I don't think I finished saying it, that they took that letter in 3 times. The FBI took it 3 times. Every time the FBI took that letter, they would ask for samples of Rachel's writing. And that literally they had stacks. They had sent stacks of Rachel's writing. And all 3 times that the FBI had that note, it has come back inconclusive over who wrote it. So Rusty goes and they get another investigator, Dan James. Dan James is a little harsh. He is the one that put up the 20,000. I'm sorry, John Swain didn't. Dan James had been following this case since the 70s. Kennedy, I love you, baby. So Dan James had been following it on his own because he was a private investigator and he was doing his own little thing. Not, Well, he popped up and started making accusations like Cotton might have done it, like Tommy was having a bunch of affairs, that Deborah was having a bunch of affairs, that Deborah and Tommy were still sleeping together, and they, targeted Rachel. And if that's your deal, then why doesn't Deborah go shopping with Rachel and nobody else? And then Tommy only has to kill one person, not three. It doesn't, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Just like if somebody were targeting one of those girls, it doesn't make any sense to take two more with you, especially if you're one or two people. Healthy girls, anybody I would think is going to fight. Julie might not have fought because she'd have been so scared, but I think a 17-year-old who'd had her ass whipped all her life by her daddy, she gonna try to kill you. That's what I'm saying. But this is what is still believed. So for a couple of years, and before I say a couple of years, it's a lot of years, the families all believed that Deborah had something to do with it. Tommy had long since moved to Throckmorton with his 16 wives, and a mess of kids. I found him on Facebook. It got real gooey and nasty when Dan James got into and like I said, so a newspaper approached Deborah, I want to say in the 2000s, and she said, I had nothing to do with this. Me and Tommy were engaged, but it was nothing serious. It was never going to work. There was nothing. I wasn't jealous of my sister and all that. And when the family read that in the paper, they signed a note and sent it back asking her to submit to a FBI lie detector test. And she did it, Asian twist. And she never did. She wouldn't do it. I don't know. I mean, I've never been put through a lie detector test. I can't imagine. I know that they give you all these questions that kind of relax you, and then they start asking, the big ones. I don't know. There was another development I forgot to tell you. All right, so in February of that year, the 16th, 1975, Ray Ann, which is Julie's mom, got a phone call, and it was a lot of hello, but at one she said, is this Julie? And the little girl said yes. And just these prank phone calls, they all got them. Every set of the parents got the phone calls. I can't imagine that. They ended up all having to change their number. So I do not know how Deborah, Rusty, and the rest Renee's father died last year at 80-some years old. And him and Rusty went out. Rusty's a grown-ass man. We go out chasing these leads. Rusty has been in every single field, I think, in Texas. He has dug. He has been almost arrested. He found out that one of the people that was supposedly involved, the guy's car disappeared a couple weeks after the girls went missing. He found this out in the 2000s, okay? This is the 70s. And he has raised all this money, and he's had these 3 cars drug out of a lake in Fort Worth, Texas. All of them were from the 70s. None of them, and one of them, they pulled 2 out. There was another one that they couldn't get to, or was, I think it started to flood or something, and they had to put a buoy on it, and they went back, and there was nothing. I mean, there was nothing. I could have shown y'all a million pictures of that. It's just sad. It's just sad that he has exhausted everything. Like I said, they all got phone calls. But before Richard Wilson died, he still did not believe Deborah. He still believed it. And he said that all the parents that had died before him believed it, that she did have something to do with it. Then you have people that pop up in the family like Rusty, and he'll have a guess of who did it, but he can't tell you the name. Okay. Dan James would run people down, and not with his car or anything. I mean, and marginally effective. I'll just say that. He was marginally effective. He did, he kept, I'm getting death threats. Well, yeah. So I'm trying to make sure I've covered everything. So the only piece of physical evidence in this 49-year-old case is that letter. Can't tell where it was mailed from, but close to Fort Worth. Tommy could have. Oh, well, I know what I forgot to show you. We have some of Tommy's handwriting. Oh, this just in. We have a little bit of Tommy's handwriting. And I have clumsily put this together. On the left, you will see Tommy's handwriting. On the right, you will see Rachel's handwriting. Look at the IN. I probably could have done this much better, but I didn't. That kind of looks the same. Rachel was left-handed too. So my husband is left-handed. I'm right-handed. But when I write, I don't write scribble. It doesn't go down the page like that. But I thought, if you're trying to write left-handed, can y'all not see? I know y'all can't see that. And it's going to drive me crazy. It's very similar. And then we have another one. Oh, shit. Let's go. Okay, we got the T's over here. I'm sorry I put this in. Disregard this one. Here's his T's. Here's her T's. This is actually a letter he wrote in regards to one of his sons that was a little hard to handle from his ex-wife. Which one it could be? I mean, it could be the first son that was 2.5 when this happened. It could be sons after that. I couldn't tell you. There's the ends again. Oh, I did this one. I'm sorry. Anyway, the T's are kind of, you see how she's got it up at the top? I'm pointing and y'all can't see me point. She's got that T all the way up, it's crossed all the way up at the top. Same way he does. Yeah, he should have. I agree. And do you want to know if he was? No, he wasn't. He wasn't. Nobody was. Nobody has. Tommy, not Deborah. She's refused. He is just, the T's are the same. I mean, the system. Yeah, it's, when you say what are the odds that you're going to move to the same town that could have been the last place your wife was, of all the places in Texas? And why are you going to go get your marriage licenses from another town where the letter could have come from to go back to the second town that it could have come from? And now we've got the T's. Honestly, the T had me. The T had me. I don't cross my T's at the top unless they're capital T's. I think Tommy's got something to say. But I'm going to tell you about this. So I'll tell you about this other. So we had the sightings, right? We've had the sightings of the girl. And we had the one about The security guard had all 3 girls in the car, right? And the guy saw them. Well, that story changes again. Hold on to yourselves. And I think it was 2001, a news crew was doing a story on the girls. And a man walks up to him and says, I saw them. I saw them that night. I saw them in the security guard's truck because I was a security guard there too. And I told him he's not supposed to have people in the truck. And it was those girls, I know it. And then he quit after this happened. Never saw him again. Oh, well, that's new. That's added. You added that. Because now you were a security guard. And now you've added that you got up and told him, not the guy that guy said it's a family matter. No, not that story. You told him, no, you get them out of the car. Sorry. I'm still sick. That story changes again. Same guy, same story. That guy says, no cop ever got back to me. Oh, by the way, I'm a retired cop. What? Wait a minute. You were a retired police officer for Fort Worth. And you didn't run down to the cold case and say, hey, did y'all get my story? When I worked security at Sears on December 23rd, 1974, and I saw those girls in the truck, and then the guy quit. Y'all, you didn't get my story. Oh, yeah, I got to take my story. Where the fuck you been? That story kept changing. And then all of a sudden you were a cop. And then after that, you have to go up to a news crew to tell them the story when you worked in the building for 20 some years. What? But guess what? Nobody, that guy, they did find the guy. I'll tell you that they did find the guy. I don't know how, but they found him. And that guy said he's full of shit. I don't know what he's talking about. Wouldn't you say that? I don't know what he's talking about. So we have an authority figure that possibly put those girls in a pickup truck. But he was, the guy before said it was 2 people. All right, the same guy. I have his name. Let me find his fucking name. I cursed his name. So you have a guy who said, let me find the name. I want this name because I said, this is my pick. He did it. If he didn't do it, something's wrong. Something's wrong. Let me find it. Because I got to speak it now. If I don't speak it, something will go wrong. Something will be bad. And you know what? In all of these cases that I bring up, I won't go through. Let me hold on. All right. As far as suspects go, we don't have any suspects. There are none, 0. There were several people in the area that were doing a lot of killing around this time, however. And because of some of the way they did their business, the girls would get clumped off into a possibility of being their victim. So you had this guy, Mike D, and it's a very long number, Delbert Doodoo Didi, I don't know, it's a very long name. He was a murderer. He would get people from the mall or what, he would go, so they locked him in there because of that. You had another guy that killed his wife and other people, but his wife was from Mexico, and instead of like she would write her family letters every week. He started writing letters as her in English. So because of the letter that was sent by Rachel's name, they got lumped over there with him. But as far as like rock solid suspects, there's never been one because the police. I will tell you a story that Richard Wilson told. He got a call. I can put my notes up. He got a phone call from a policeman that says, "Listen, we've just gotten a big lead. We're heading over right now. The team, we're heading over." And because Richard Wilson had heard this and nothing, and never, it would never anything else, he parked right near the police station. He followed those men in cars that went down to a pastry shop, and they sat there for like 2 or 3 hours. And he watched them go back to the police station, and he went home and he got a phone call, and the phone call was from the cop that said, "We went out there. It was nothing. It was nothing." Now, that's how these people were treated. So the police dropped this ball straight from go, right? And straight from go. But then to put the families through that, we got a big lead. Yeah, we got a big lead. We're going right now. And he knows them so well that he's parked and follows them to a pastry shop. I mean, how cliche is that? But, this is the way they were treated. Yeah, they didn't have any. Quinny, it is said that they did. They actually only had one, and I'll show you. They only had one. They never came out of that mall. And here's the only package in that car. And it was Renee had bought that gift for Tommy's son, right? And she was giving it to Rachel to take home, with her. That's the only thing that was in the car. Even the jeans that Renee bought at Army Navy weren't in the car. So the police admit they can't get those girls, quote unquote, out of that mall. They can't get those girls out of that mall because, one, you didn't follow up any leads because you didn't think they were leads because you thought they ran away for 6 months, 8 months, a year. However long it took John Swain to convince you to turn it into a homicide case because a 9-year-old ain't running away. A year and a half, but the police will admit, and it's a quote, "Hey, Rachel, baby, it's good, honey," that the police themselves can't get those girls out of that mall. So, what do you think? I like to deliver these head scratchers. I like to deliver the head scratchers. I mean, John Swain, what went up in smoke from Mr. Swain? What went up in smoke? We'll never know. I think Dan James actually too has passed on, and if he has, it's been within the last year. But I think I read that he did pass away. Security guard could have taken them out. Yeah, exactly. We don't know. People saw them because of Renee's distinctive shirt. I don't know what Rachel was wearing. I will give you their Charlie Project / things, their deals. So we have Mary Rachel Trillica. She was 5'6", 105 to 110, brown hair, blue-green eyes. Her upper right tooth was chipped, and she had a small scar on her chin. We don't know what she was wearing. Nobody knows what she was wearing. And she had a wedding band on. So then we have Lisa Renee. She was 14, female, 5'2", 110 pounds, light wavy brown hair and brown eyes. She was wearing purple, blue hip huggers, a pale yellow and green sweatshirt with sweet honesty in green letters, red and white sneakers and or Oxford shoes, and a promise ring with a clear stone and a scar on her thigh. Julie Ann was 5'3", 85 pounds. Shoulder length sandy blonde hair, blue eyes, small scar on her upper left eye, one on her forehead, one on the back of her calf. And she was wearing a red shirt with dark jeans and red tennis shoes. Thank you, Halloween baby. So we don't even know what Rachel was wearing. But that shirt people recognize. But what they did, and I would imagine 2 days before Christmas, working retail was a lot. It was a lot more complicated then than it is now. You couldn't just scan stuff. You had to actually, we don't know if they've had packages. We don't know. We don't know. The people that saw them haven't really commented on the packages yet. I mean, like they didn't say they were kid, 3 bags, 5 bags. And even at one point, they said that Deborah claimed that Rachel had $150 in stocks in the glove compartment. And Tommy said they were missing. And then Tommy said, no, they're not missing. They're there. What are you going to do with stocks? What is a 17-year-old going to do with stocks? But that's our story. Yes, Quinny, get to digging. That's what I want y'all to do. I want y'all to dig. I love this stuff. Me and my therapist talked about this. And it takes up a lot of my time, but it's therapeutic kind of for me, and I couldn't tell you why. I don't know why it's therapeutic for me. Absolutely drives me crazy, some of these things, because I don't know what happened, but we're not going to know what happened. But again, these girls have gotten buried in time, and they still matter. They still matter. They mattered the day they left that, went to the mall. They still matter. But 49 years is a long time, to be have stuff just buried on top of you. So that's why I only really do vintage stuff. Because I guess it's maybe I feel like I'm helping. That could be it. Let me write that down for myself. Maybe I feel like I'm helping. There you go. Because people are helpless when it comes to this stuff, right? Right. See, Rain, the only parent that's left. Let me show you him and Rusty and his mom. Rusty's mother is the only parent left. And that's Rusty. That's Rachel's little brother. She's the only one left. So, I hope every year she puts out 3 big lit angels in her front yard. Now, when I did this story last year, why am I keeping my hands like this? I don't know. When I did this story last year, I went and got 3 little angels, and I put them in my bay window. Maybe that's why I feel like I'm helping, And then a lot of people on the Facebook thing, they do the same. They have 3 little, different homages to them. No, yeah, we can't forget them. That's the thing. We can't forget them. So, yeah, I think now I've answered my own question, that I think this to me is, I feel like I'm helping in this, even though, I've always say we're not going to solve this case, but we got to talk about it because it happened. And, next year at this time, I'll do it again. I'll talk about them again. And hopefully, though, this will be one of the years where we get these big breaks that are happening all over Jane Doe cases everywhere. this stuff starting to come back. And it's, I think, and in the last month, I know I've read of 3 to 4 different Jane and John Does that have been identified. So, they don't know the murderer or whatever, but at least they get their name back, and their family gets their loved one back. So I hope it just keeps plugging along. Yeah, they're being, they are. I was, because it's on Reddit. I'm on the, get on Reddit, girls and boys, you will be lost forever. I love Reddit. You have to filter through some craziness, but let me see. This is the stream, one of the, if you find like, Quinny, if you want to do this, you put in Fort Worth Trio in Reddit and stuff will pop up. Oh, thank you. I'm wearing my pajamas right now, Irish, that I got from Temu. $17 or something. I love them. It's this. Hold on there. I got them like way too big. There's this, and then down the leg. I'm having a pajama party. I just didn't tell y'all. Next week we'll have a pajama party again. Well, let me see the one that let me see. Which one do I get into that always pops up? Unsolved Mysteries. I think maybe that's the one where it's Unsolved Mysteries. Yeah. Unresolved Mysteries, Unsolved Mysteries. You get updates on the John Does and Jane Does that come through there. So it was like, I've been really happy. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know. And Irish Guy was really reluctant to buy clothes from Temu. But true to size, love them, comfortable. Hey, mama. Let me see, Shannon, do you ever look at the case of, I have it. Hold on. If y'all knew. I have it in here, Sarah. I have it. These are my envelopes of ideas. And I go through and pick them out. I know, I had to let y'all know that I was wearing pajamas. I'm going to write it down again. I'm going to put it sideways because I know if I put it sideways, I'll look right at it. Like I said, I was going to take a break this week. But I don't think I am. And I usually, I've been really good about having a subject for the next one, but I've been so obsessed with these girls again. And maybe it's too true, and I think I've said this 100 times, and if I have, just ignore me. That when when you're reading a book and you finish the book and you miss them, you miss the characters and you miss the time and the place and the house. And when I get done with these people, I miss them. I miss them. I miss them. I miss all of them. I've gotten to know these girls over the last, actually a year. Let me find that name, though. Hold on. That's going to bug the shit out of me that I don't have that name. The guy that I think is the... Hold on. I have so many notes. I'm telling you what. Something's wrong. Something's wrong with me. And then can you imagine the first time that Rachel's mother saw that note, she said, my daughter didn't write that note. That's not my daughter's handwriting. From Christmas Eve, 1974. And then you've got to convince the police who are telling you that, yes, she did write that note. Because they even said, we know she wrote the note. We just can't tell if she did it under duress. So even they, when they were considering them runaways, to a newspaper, said, oh, yeah, we think they ran. We think she wrote it, but we don't know whether she was under duress. Well, if she's a runaway, why would she be under duress? Nobody can think about that. No, I don't know. I don't know. So, um, again, knowing that it's not true. If I don't find his name, where are you, you bastard? Because when I read this, I'm telling you, when I read this dude, I'm like, well, you've changed your story 3 fucking times, and every time it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And now, not doing it. Richard Wilson, Weatherford, Tommy. Oh, all right. I'll tell you this one other thing. This happened a couple of years ago, but a man was doing a research for a magazine. Rusty was showing him around all over town, met him for coffee. He had Richard Wilson with him. Rusty did. And so then the guy, Rusty, said, here, I'm going to call my mom. We're going to go over there. And the reporter was like, I don't think I'm ready to go see your mom yet. But, they did. And then the guy's like, well, the reporter said, I'm going to go try to get in touch with Tommy. And Rusty told him, oh, you're going to try to get a hold of that psychopath? Watch out. Be careful. He'll kill you. And then when he said, I'm going to call Deborah, Rusty said, I'll give you your number, but she's going to come across as June Cleaver, but she's the devil. So, and then Tommy declined to be interviewed for the piece and basically called Rusty and Richard Wilson possible murderers. An 11-year-old murderer, really, who does his tease just like you. I don't know. It got real dirty. It got dirty and nasty. I don't know. Like I said, I think Deborah's back into the fold. I'm pretty sure I saw a photograph of Rusty and Deborah and the mother probably in the last couple of years. So I think that's been resolved. I don't know. Yeah, again, what are the odds that 17 months later you're going to move to one of the towns that could very well have been where this letter came from, postmarked from? And what are the odds that you're going to go and get all your marriage license from the second city that it could possibly be from? And then you get the letter. I don't know how they got the letter if it's handwriting. But and actually, I found that where it's broken down like that. I found it on the Facebook post. You have to go through a lot, that thing's been going for a long time, that Facebook. So, but it's there. And you can find a lot of stuff there. You can be there all day, and you're not going to get to the end of it. So, understanding my son comes home. Hold on, I'm sorry. I missed all those comments. I miss everything. Oh, you're doing a short Thanksgiving tomorrow? Lord. I think I went live last year when I did our family. I'm not doing that this year. I couldn't cuss near enough as I usually do. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Like a cool way. Yeah, if I won't see y'all again, I mean not in the mystery club until after Thanksgiving. Oh, boo. Well, I hope y'all have a great Thanksgiving. I hope if you celebrate, and if you don't, I hope you have a great day. All right, so we all, what do we think? Let me get one more. What do we think? All right, and I'm gonna ask if we're going to. Probably not, Peace. Probably not. I probably won't. Well, we're gonna do it here. Like last year, I did it at my daughter's house, and basically, me doing. I mean, sorry, honey, if you're watching, but It means I just have to move all of my groceries and all of my pants over to her house to do it. I'm not doing that. And then my wonderful husband and my wonderful son, my daughter doesn't have like cable, to like football games to get football games. So she has like, all the other stuff. So they, Packers play at 12 and all that. Tommy did it. It had to be somebody they knew. I agree with that. I agree with it's got to be somebody they knew. They left with somebody they knew, and Renee won't coming home. I mean, 4:00. Well, let me tell you, Clover, what she said to me the other day. She called me yesterday, right? She said, "What do you want me to bring for Thanksgiving? Please say nothing." Nothing? How's that? Please say nothing. Oh, okay, nothing. So, ta-da. And that's my 37-year-old. And my 28-year-old lives with my 37-year-old and my three grandsons. You think that was going to bring anything? No. They live in the same house. So I'm getting 5 people from their house to my house, and they ain't bringing not one green bean. Not even a green bean. That's okay, because I really do love I love to do the cooking and all that good stuff. I love it. I do. Oh, thank you for covering. Oh, crimes have consequences. I appreciate that. I do. I'm glad that I found people that appreciate these cases too. Because out of sight, out of mind, but not me. Maybe I'm gonna be digging. About tomorrow, I'll have another topic for large bottle of wine, honey. I'll have another topic for next Saturday. Yeah, I'll have a topic by tomorrow. And like I said, y'all free to jump on in it and get in there. And I always try to make this an open panel, but nobody ever comes up. So we can do an open panel if y'all want to, but nobody ever wants to come up. Not a green bean, Quinny. No, not a damn green bean. So I told her, I did tell her, I said, if you're going to take stuff home, bring your own container instead of raiding all mine. Because I'll go to put stuff away after she's gone. And I'm like, where did all my containers go? Oh, never mind. Never mind. I think I know exactly where they are. I'm such an abused mother. Oh, country girl, I appreciate that. I appreciate everyone in the chat, and I appreciate everyone that is laying back and watching this who show up every week. I say to every week, I try to, that I appreciate you so much. If I don't have a channel if I don't have y'all. I've been on this case. You've been on this one? So many people. Oh, Sarah, honey, I know. I'm sorry. Rachel's brother, Rusty. Yeah. Oh, you drugged the cars. Yeah, the 3 cars. Has he pulled any more out? Because I know I was telling them that he got 2 out, and then the third one he couldn't get out. They couldn't get out right then. And then I didn't know if they had ended up pulling that one out. Well, Big Mama, I appreciate you being in those bushes. I really, really do. More than you know. Oh, great. Well, this is the second time I've done it. Crimes have consequences. The second time I've done it. And I told everybody, if I'm here next year, I'll do it again because, I did not realize that last Wednesday was Rachel's birthday. Until when I was writing it down, I went, whoa, wait a minute. And I did it about this time last year. I've not been on the panel before. Oh, Rachel, you can pop right up here beside me. Yes, you could pop. You do it. Well, I'll make you do it. I'll force you to do it. But, you pulled the 2. Okay, because I know that there's 1 left, yeah? I was telling them if you weren't here, John Swain, and that debacle that happened, And I mean, this case has been kicked around more than I think any of them that I have ever seen. For there to be so much information that leads absolutely nowhere. Possibilities that will it's absolutely maddening. Yeah, exactly. I wanted them. I was telling that maybe they pulled DNA off that letter, but I think if I'm mistaken, it might have come back inconclusive, like everything else from that letter has been inconclusive. Even though to me it looked like Tommy's T's and Tommy's INs. But I mean, I'm just saying. And like when I was thinking about Tommy doing it though, I'm thinking like I don't know if he would want to kill his wife of 6 months unless he thought he made a mistake. But he wouldn't have gotten anything from it. So I mean, unless he had her, I doubt he had any life insurance on her. There's something about the racetrack. Yeah, I just showed a minute ago. I don't know if you were here. The note from Rachel, and then a letter that he wrote in regards to one of his sons. Thank you, Quirky, for being a member for 1 month. I love you. You're late. I'm sorry. I'm getting ready to go. Yeah, and there's so Tommy's movements from 78 to Tommy made some weird movements. I'm just saying. But if you let Rusty know, like, I'm keeping the faith over here on YouTube. I know a lot of people are, and I ain't a major channel, but I'm keeping the faith over here. One of the letters looks bait. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna let y'all go. It's 10:42. I have gone for an hour and 42 minutes. That's ridiculous. If I don't see y'all again before Thanksgiving, you have just a great Thanksgiving. And look out for tomorrow. That's when I'll come up with my new one. And then, like I said, y'all jump in there and do it. Yes, I am. That's where I got the pictures of the Earth. I love you. That's where I got the pictures of Tommy's handwriting. Was off of the web, and Quinny wants to do a little research on it. Go to that. You go to the Facebook. A lot of great stuff there. Yeah, y'all have a great night too. I love you. When I say I love you, I mean it. I really do mean it. I do. I love you for showing up every time and being a part of this. I really appreciate you. All right. And I will see y'all very soon. All right. Love you.